please. Head facing towards the camera. So what happens is, I see this a little bit, and when we start to pass the guard, our concept is normally to try and get to the chest-to-chest position. And we're going to add a kind of, I guess, a new dimension into the guard passing today for some of us, and that is we want to get as far away from the legs as we can. So side control sometimes isn't the best finish position on the guard pass because we're only a quarter weight and it's quite easy for my partner to turn to hip escape, rescue guard, etc., etc. The downfall that we see is that to go to north-south is quite difficult if I'm not good at controlling my partner. So the first part first is we're just going to start from on our knees. We're going to start to cross knee slice. So we're simply going to step up from here and pin and unhook. So we're going to get to the pass position and we're going to go to where we normally are. And we're going to be switch base forwards. As we've already kind of worked out from the other previous casters, my partner has the frames in front, they've got the good frame, but they have the unhook, they can actually like do the escape out the back, etc., etc. So what we want to do from here, and this is quite a difficult part, is anytime I lift my hips, my partner can bring their bottom knee through, their right knee through, to start to rescue guard or put a frame system in. So we're going to do two motions. I'm going to go chest to chest, and my left hand is going to go over the top of the head and under the shoulder. Right. So I'll straighten my leg but my hips stay low, so this makes it hard for him to recover guard. 1 and 2. So my right hand walks the legs out. So Steve is down this way here. So my right hand's on here. And what I'm doing is I'm trying to stay quite low. So even if Steve frames and tries to put the legs through, I've got the ability to hold the legs. Now, if you see what's happening when Steve does that, Steve's left shoulder pops quite high. For him to put his right knee down and to rescue, he has to turn off his back and give me exposure on the opposite side. Right, so we're just going to start with this so everyone understands what we're trying to do for both people, from the person on the top and the person on the bottom. Just what I found from here is if I try and swing my hand through here now, this is number one, quite difficult too. And number two, anytime I do this, there's no hold on my partner and they can simply move away, etc., etc. Right? So on our knees, and just across the knee through. So from here, control, step up on the knee line. Right, not the hamstring, not the calf, on the knee line. Hand comes under, we're just going to smash our knee, pop, and come through. Slide my hip to the ground. One hand goes over. As he turns, my hand comes under, we're going to drop our hip. So Steve tries to take the rescue, he's going to be here. Now, we need to do with this frame, but we're going to stop right here, right now. And note I'm flat to the ground and not on my knees. I want to be as flat to the ground as I possibly can. I don't want to be on my knees because there's no weight on my partner. Okay, 1, 2, 3. System on the inside. So this will be the second entrance, and this is kind of, I guess, a bit more common entrance into it. So we've got the standard where, like we're crushing our partner down, and he's, like I've got the frame system. So Steve starts to use his elbows to push up. I swim, and I swim. So this time, as he's creating space to either get the underhook or to hip escape or to rescue guard, instead of me fighting the frame system and trying to like beat him and outmuscle him, I'm simply going to go with it. So we're here, and I see like they're fighting, no, and the more they're here, the more that, like he's got the ability to move me. So what I'm doing this time is, once I feel the pressure on my shoulder and my neck, I swing my hand through. Now, as Steve pushes me away, well, I get access once again to the back side of the shoulder. So what I'm doing is, the main focus is that my right hand's denying him or making it harder for my partner to pull the knees back inside and get to guard. That's the whole thing. Like, I don't want to kind of pass the guard, back into guard, pass the guard. So right now, it's all about controlling the hip line and the knee line and making sure that my frame system is in front of his knees. Right. So what I see sometimes when people are like on the side control and they go, so okay, I'll grab this. The downfall is I've created a window for Steve's leg to come through, and even though I'm looking to upgrade to mount or whatever like that, I've still given him a good opportunity. So we start the chest to chest. As my partner frames, my hand scoops through on the ground, switch my head into here. Now, my partner will generally kind of keep pushing, so all I'm going to do is slowly walk around and pick up the arm. So I'm going to go to north-south, I'm going to have the elbow exposure, and I'm trying to dig this hand in nice and deep so that the shoulder's controlled. They've got two choices, well, they've got more than two choices. Number one is to go and try and rescue this arm by rolling their back on the ground, so I just keep my pressure on him, which makes it harder. Number two, they're going to try and roll to the knees. So as long as my hand's underneath the leg, it's very hard for them to roll to the knees. So I've got a really nice control system on my partner, whether they try and rescue or not. Yes?
Switching arms to see which arms are against
Ian. Onto your back and head facing 180. Let's see how good you are. Perfect. Man, high level. That is 180. It was actually 173, but you know, we're okay. So what's going for me is that one of the main systems of our partner trying to get the escape is that they're trying to create space on this side here. So what I see people do is they try and lock their hands and fight. There's nothing wrong with that. But like, I'm not saying don't do that. But as soon as the frame system comes in and I feel that they're creating space, my hand shoots to this side and I allow them to turn towards me and my hand shoots to this side. I want to go flat and step. Now I'm trying to punch as through as deep as I can. If Ian tries to put his back on the ground, my weight's behind the elbow. If Ian tries to roll to his knees, my hand's underneath the leg. So I've got a really nice control system from here. And he can move. The downfall about it is that he's not moving to anywhere that gives him any purchase. He's not getting to a better position. He's just moving for the sake of moving. So those of you that are acrobatic, nimble, dexterous, okay, post on your hand, you jump straight to your armbar. So there's a really fast armbar for me. I did wrist lock him. I have to throw wrist lock into every video. No, it's what we do. So, frame system, as it frames, across the stomach, so I'm going in front of the knee line. Don't take it over the knee line because we're behind the knee line. Take it in front of the knee line. Let him turn towards me. Come underneath. Flat. Post. Jump. Sit. It's a really nice tight armbar. I generally, if I'm struggling this way, most people turn towards the legs. Right? I'm just going to turn toward the head. It makes it more of a kimura, like it makes it more of a kimura. Turn towards the legs, takes the weight off his head. He can snap. I can shoot the triangle, I can shoot the head squeeze, I can shoot that, but I'm giving him space to move. So my general feeling is from here is I just start to roll, towards the head. Ends a bit tight through the shoulders, but I find that one here, I'll at least get the separation of the hands and I can go back to the armbar if I want it as well. Okay, everyone, change partners, 1, 2, 3. Good job. Head facing that way, facing back. So camera shot. Right, camera shot.
Yeah.
So, as my partner, right, if my partner stays on their back and simply frames up, right, without turning, this is simply just knee right, which is what we did last week. So if my partner just simply pushes up and doesn't turn towards me, that's your invitation to go to knee right because they're flat on their back. But he doesn't really get much purchase by pushing me straight up because what comes up goes down. So I understand that they're generally going to try and turn to the side to hip escape and to move, right? Bearing in mind that from here is once they push and turn, I've got to bring my hand through pretty much fast. The part that I see people have issues with is if your head stays on this side of the arm, Steve's in a far better position than me because by the time I come around here, I'm so far offside that he's got space to move, to come up, to rescue, etc., etc. So one of the things I want to do is once the frame system comes here is I'm kind of like, as Steve frames and pushes off, is I turn my head to this side. So it almost kills the frame system. So even if Steve tries to come up now, like it's quite hard because my weight's on the opposite side. And now I'll get that really good purchase. What I'm seeing people do is they're pulling arm here, and now there's zero weight on my partner. This is actually really hard to control because my weight's backwards on my knees. I'm kind of covering the third of the body or quarter of the body, and the major lever, the hips and the knees, are free to move and rock and roll whatever they want to do. So instead of coming backwards and pulling the arm, we want to do the opposite. We want to crush the arm. We want to put pressure onto the arm. Are you okay if I put pressure? Are you sure?
Yep.
Okay. So what I'm saying is, here, Right, so instead of me trying to pull backwards, is I come here and I just crush the arm. And now, as I spin, my hand will by default come underneath it. And I do like to grab my gi, because I now have that added security into it. And I can sit on this side, so this is around the world. I've kind of gone from side control to north south to side control, and you know, I've got the arm, so I can start to attack the arm if I want to attack the arm. Or, oh sorry Steve, from here, and here is, so my head goes on the good side, I crush, I go to here, I just go and just feed the gi. If I put all my weight into my right hand, and I'm going to go to knee ride. So all I do is I pounce, jump up, so engage my toes, put all my weight over my partner, that way that there's weight behind the arm. I don't sit back here because there's no weight on the arm. So my head goes over. As I jump up, I'm in the arm bar position. One out, like I said. So we're here and my head's over and I've got the control, right, my hand. So what I'm seeing people do is they're jumping up here. And what's happening is that the weight's coming off the arm and they've got the inside position. Where if I kind of go, I'll lean over my partner and jump. Right. And now, cup. I'll try and go slow and sit. Right, this is actually really hard to do. It's designed to be quite a fast arm bar. I do like to go to the wrist. Not because I like wrist locking, but that's the end of the lever. You know, so that's going to give me a better arm bar than this does, because they can control their arms together. And once again, if Steve does hold his issue or shorter, okay, I'm going to go really light. What I find is when we're here, if people sit this way, it kind of gives Steve the ability to start to sit up. Where if I kind of hold the collar and I extend my leg and roll this way, I find that this is a far better grip break and mechanic to do the arm bar. Number two, it keeps their head pinned on the ground, so it's harder for them to sit up. How'd that feel? Okay, cool. Ian, come hither. Thank you, Steve. Slow motion there is from here. So as my partner frames, my hand shoots under, my hand comes around to get the pressure, come around, switch my head. So my head's on the opposite side, right? Here, now watch. Put all my weight here, right, dive into my partner, jump. Sit down, squeeze the knees. My first motion is, I know he's going to probably try and hitchhike or escape, that's okay. So I'll pull here. So as my partner hitchhike or escapes, which means he rolls away from me, other way, bring it, yeah, keep rolling. Bring your leg over, keep rolling. Keep rolling. Keep rolling. Keep rolling. We'll just pretty much go into omoplata or, you know, like triangle, depending how they escape, yeah. So I don't fight it. If they do roll out of it, I'm simply going to switch it up to a triangle. Okay, 1, 2, 3. Roll. And we'll do the same thing again. So as I'm frame assisting, Steve's got his hands here. I'll do the correct thing where I turn and come under, Steve's watch his head, get to control the arms from here. And now what we're going to do from here is, I'm just my leg, just a second, is as Steve bounces up to the knee ride, so post and bounce up to knee ride, the thing is right now is I'll generally understand I'm in an armbar position. If I don't, you're in an armbar position, like, you know. So you can post here, you can post, so it doesn't matter right now. So Steve steps over my head and sits backwards. I've got to do this timing. So as Steve sits back, I've got to explode. So what I'm trying to explode is Steve, see how he's falling backwards and my elbows exposed? So what I see people do is when they get the armbar, they try and cup the arms together. And in fact, I'm holding Steve onto my arm, which makes this better for him. Where if I kind of go, as Steve sits down, if I go feet, knees, and I've got this ability to start to turn and explode the armbar.
So you're rotating your shoulder, your elbow out of the position.
Yeah, but I have to explode. Yeah. So what I see, if you understand the armbar, I can actually only move one way because his shin's here. Right, I can't go that way. That's why that shin stays here. So the more I turn here, the more that, you know, like I'm giving him the armbar. So what I see people do is they just try and roll out, but the downward is my elbow is still compromised.
So to create space for me to use, it's just as I turn my knees. And it's doing as he's sitting down, so it is a timing thing. Right, but you're okay. So what I'm doing is, as I'm here, is I'm tucking my hand under, I'm turning, and I'm trying to get as much cylinder motion as I can. So I'm trying to turn as far as I possibly can, and this is the hub space. As I walk here, I'll pop, and I come back, and I come back around the other way. I have to come back, like I can't, otherwise I'll wind myself into a triangle omoplata. So the more that he holds onto my arm, the more it becomes a risk, risk for my partner, right? So I've got to make this like I've got to go to my knees and corkscrew back the opposite way. One more time, okay, I'm very sorry. So the shin's under, hand comes over, boom. As he sits down, I'm not trying to do this, right? I'm trying to go turn my knees, engage. Hip bump, I'm trying to throw my hand as far over as I can. That means that my elbow will be as far away from the hip as possible as well. Kick and walk. Boom. I like to feed the foot. And now, can you just, turn that video just towards me a fraction? Cool. So I'm on the foot. Right. I can't let that foot come back in and roll me back. So I need to keep this foot here pinned as tight as I can. What I try and do is try and change my shoulder from his gluteus maximus to his knee. And now, like he doesn't have I'm still in the armbar position. I've also blocked the bottom leg out, so I'm heavy on the bottom leg. And now what I do is just cut my hands together, just try and pull this to the ground, and then we're kind of in the guard passing mode. So it's not just like, the hitchhiker's go, oh, just turn your hand and roll. It's quite complicated. It's not just the one, hey, just do this, just do this. There's quite a lot of little issues to go through from there. I'll do it one more time. Thanks, Steve. So just assume, you can start from here. So the way that I like to start is generally we kind of go knee ride, have the arm, step overhead, boom, sit down. Okay, so now engage, bridge, and throw my hands. Swap my hands over, boom, walk, pin the leg, and pushing the leg to create space. Okay? Push the leg to come underneath it as well. So we'll just start on the knee ride, so we're not going to waste time just drilling it out. Start on the knee ride, the armbar, and just start to slowly do it. I don't want anyone exploding too fast yet, because if you go too fast, you get a false sense of security because we're just drilling. So just go everything nice and slow, like you're underwater, slow motion, just get that drilling technique going. Okay, 1, 2, 3. No buttons. Sorry, did I hurt you?
No, I'm trying to poke my head.
No, yeah, because I'm rolling the other way, it's quite there.
Steve, you get under the